हमें ऐसा लगता है life is difficult because we were not raised well. The thing is, our parents did their best according to their level of awareness at that point of time. The real reason of our suffering today is something else. We, as adults, don't know how to regulate our own emotions. We were never given an environment in our childhood where we could patiently understand ourselves. That's why so many of us, when we grew up, we are so confused about what we truly want in our life. But there is a good news. We are adults now. And now we can reparent ourselves, reparent our own inner child. When I observed how children are raised, including my own childhood and some of my friends, I realized that there are actually two extremes जहाँ पे parenting होती है. One extreme is the child wants anything or they don't know what they want, the parent will distract themselves, उनको YouTube videos दिखा देते हैं या उनको distract कर देते हैं ताकि वो अपने emotion को कभी समझ ही ना पाए because of the temporary discomfort that the child is going through. Parents think that they are doing this out of love, but it doesn't help the child itself. दूसरा एक्सट्रीम होता है जहाँ पे when the child is confused, when they are throwing tantrums because they don't understand what they really want, the physical abuse or shouting or scolding, जहाँ पे उनके इमोशन को या तो जो भी वो फील करें उसको सप्रेस कर दिया जाता है. In both these situations, the child actually grows up being, in one case, overly dependent on others, जहाँ पे उनको सब कुछ भी चीज़ मिल जाती है, not clear about what they want, but constantly distracting themselves. या तो दूसरी जगह पे जहाँ पे they feel insecure, they feel hurtful, they feel resentment and still disconnected from what they truly want because it was so suppressed. But recently, I was with a friend and we were at his home having dinner together as a family, and I observed something very interesting. He has a 4-year-old daughter, and before starting our dinner, we were actually saying prayers. And while saying the prayer, उसकी daughter ने थोड़ा weird sound, she started making some weird sounds. हमने prayer खत्म की and then my friend asked her कि क्या चाहिए, but she was not saying anything or she was just constantly making these weird sounds. So we just started having our dinner and seeing this, because everybody is starting to have their own dinner, seeing this, she started screaming and crying, right? तो मेरे फ्रेंड ने खाने को साइड पे रखा खुद के. He asked us to continue eating. उसने बोला कि let me speak with her, and he actually, as an adult, he treated his daughter as an adult और पूछा कि क्या चाहिए. Daughter was trying to figure out her own emotions, तो वो समझ नहीं पा रही थी, तो वो constantly she was making certain sounds, but she was not actually speaking what she really wanted. This got so extreme that she started crying and screaming and throwing hands, वगैरह वगैरह, just like a normal child does. But instead of distracting her कि एक YouTube वीडियो लगा दिया ताकि खाना चालू कर दे, या दूसरे एंड पे जहाँ पे उसको इग्नोर कर दिया या फिर चिल्ला दिया या तो उसे मार दिया, my friend actually took a middle path. He was firm that she has to tell him what she is going through और उसे क्या चाहिए, with a reassurance that अगर उसे पता चल गया मेरे दोस्त को कि what she really wants, he'll make sure that he'll make it available for her. So that was the middle ground that I saw for the first time when it comes to parenting. 5 मिनट पास हुए, 10 मिनट पास हुए, वो रोए जा रही है तो मेरे फ्रेंड ने उसको गले लगा लिया और बोला कि वॉट एवर यू वॉन्ट, आई एम हेयर फॉर यू एज अ फादर. एंड स्लोली शी सेड आई वॉन्ट टू बी फेड, मतलब उसको हाथ से खाना खाना था. तो मेरे फ्रेंड ने ट्राई किया, बट इंटरेस्टिंगली वो रोना चुप नहीं हुई, ना उसका स्क्रीमिंग कम हुआ, राइट. सो दिस इज वेयर माई फ्रेंड एक्चुअली आस्क्ड, इज दिस रियली वॉट यू वॉन्ट. तो उसने रोना और जोर से चालू कर दिया. इट गॉट सो मच सो दैट उसने मतलब ही लेफ्ट द डाइनिंग टेबल with his daughter and they sat on the sofa and he was there with her letting her feel the emotion. वो रो रही थी. It was very difficult for him as a parent and it was difficult for us to watch, but this was an emotion that she was going through, and the thing was that she had to understand what she was going through and communicate it better, right, without distractions or without suppressing it. So this went on for like 20-25 minutes and उसके बाद she actually said she wanted small rotis. So the thing is, जब हम dinner करने बैठे, everybody prepared their own plate from the food that was there, and in her plate she had kept a space जहाँ पे उसको रोटी चाहिए थी, but उस दिन सिर्फ राइस ही थे तो हम सब राइस खा रहे थे. Listening to this, My friend actually made rotis available for her, and she got happy again, and everybody laughed, and she slept peacefully. वो रोटी एक ट्रिवियल चीज लग रही होगी टू अस अडल्ट्स, बट क्योंकि हम ऐसी सारी चीज़ों को नॉर्मलाइज कर देते हैं एज वी ग्रो अप, बट फॉर हर इट वाज समथिंग दैट शी हैड एक्चुअली गिवन अ लॉट ऑफ थॉट टू कि रोटी यहाँ पे आएगी मेरी प्लेट पे एंड आई बी एबल टू एंजॉय इट, राइट? नाउ वॉचिंग दिस मोमेंट मेड मी रियलाइज समथिंग वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. Children often don't know what they want. They feel something inside, but they cannot clearly express it. And the role of a real parent is actually be there for them, to help them understand what they are feeling, to help them understand their own emotion. And of course, once the thing is done, then take a call to fulfill it, or to make them understand that sometimes things may not be possible. Most adults exactly behave like that child today, right? Aap or मैं, we exactly behave like that child today. Inside there is confusion, restlessness, emotions that we don't fully understand. But instead of listening to them, we keep distracting ourselves with social media, YouTube, smoking, drinking, either overworking as well, calling it hustle. But हम किसी ना किसी चीज से भाग रहे होते हैं, हम उसको समझने का ट्राई नहीं करते. These distractions are often like those random reasons, वो जैसे वो बच्ची ने बोला था कि मुझे आप फीड करो, राइट? दैट वाज नॉट अ रियल रीजन. वो भी एक डिस्ट्रैक्शन ही है. माइंड एक सुपरफिशियल लेवल का रीजन दे देता है ताकि हम यहाँ पे उसको लाइक वी गेट आउट ऑफ दिस सिचुएशन, वी गेट आउट ऑफ दिस इमोशन दैट वी आर फीलिंग, राइट? बिकॉज इट इज हर्टफुल or it is painful, it is uncomfortable, right? Our mind is still trying to express something, but it was never taught how from childhood, right? This is where reparenting comes in. Adulthood truly begins when we start reparenting ourselves. At some point of time, our parents are no longer responsible for us. It's the responsibility is on you and me. Instead of immediately distracting ourselves whenever a feeling or an emotion comes, what if we observe it? What if we let it speak? Just like my friend patiently waited for his daughter to speak up, to express herself, we should also wait for our emotion to to come up, to listen to our own emotions. At first the mind will throw many distractions, maybe random thoughts, task list याद दिला देगा कि काम में ये बाकी है वो बाकी है. Maybe it will bring up an old heartbreak of yours, trying to make you feel sad. Whatever, it will throw so many things at you to distract you from feeling what you're feeling, because it is uncomfortable for it also, right? So जहाँ पे उसको लगता है ये stick करेगा तो वो तुम्हारे तरफ throw करने का try करेगा, right? But if you stay patient, eventually the real emotion will reveal itself, right? And once you understand what you are truly feeling, clarity begins to appear, right? Now, this is not about parenting, like blaming our parents. This is like they did the best they could that they knew. They didn't have access to awareness, psychology, YouTube, Google, etc., just the way we have today, right? They raised us based on what they knew. जैसे वो बड़े हुए थे, उन्होंने आसपास के लोगों को बड़े करते हुए देखा था बच्चों को, उन्होंने वही सीखा और समझा है, right? But now, as adults, the responsibility is ours to be the parent to our inner child. So, to listen to our emotions, to understand our own mind, and to slowly become the parent of our inner child that our inner child needs. Because when you learn to patiently listen to that inner voice, life becomes much, much more clear. Your parents gave you life. That's it. But now it is your turn to live it.